back with yet another episode of R&R. It's Jamerson Ballard. I am your illustrious host. What's up, man? Shout out to the Rand Gang and shout out to the Capital Letter Club. We in there again for another one, just like the other one, with a few upgrades. I hope y'all like the sign, man. It's the game room, because that's where we are. And today's episode is entitled "The Importance of Quitting While You're Ahead." Mr. Ray, what's happening, man? What's happening? This episode is brought to you in part by Kicks, the luxury urban shoe brand, brought to you by yours truly, and I'll leave a link in the description box. Make sure y'all like and subscribe what I got going on, man, if you fuck with this, you know what I'm saying? But I got some breaking news for y'all. It just come to my attention that old Sleepy Joe, aka Pedo Joe, just dropped out the race. Yeah, and I don't know how to feel about it. I got mixed emotions because I think Brett definitely wasn't finna win. That's dead. He probably sleep now. I think he take a nap, go to sleep at 7:00, and it's about 7:41 Eastern time. So yeah, he probably sleep right now. But yeah, I can't see how he thought he was gonna win after the debate, bro. The debate was not working in his favor, bro. He was out of there. But the question is, who gonna represent the Democratic Party? I can't see nobody worthy. Kamala? Kamala is a drunk. And she, I'm not fucking with that. I'm not ever. Look, if you just voting because a person is the same color as you now after the Obama debacle, you tripping. And her policies have always been screw us as the black man. So yeah, when she was in California doing that, that shit, no, definitely not. But I think she just been back there biding her time anyway. But who else? Gavin Newsom? That's out. That's out. He the governor of California right now, and California look worse than it's ever looked. I mean, come on, bro. He about to, put some luxury condos up for the homeless, which is, that sounds like a crazy waste of budget, but that's what he on. And this is, is that right? I know it's a segment a little late, but that's what this is, and that's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? California has always been a pretty accurate depiction of where the country is headed and what it's going to look like. Where I'm at right now, we probably about 7-8 years behind. So, I don't know how this is like the homelessness out there is crazy, and it's not too much better out here. The property value was, in the tank, and I just don't like the direction that things are going underneath the Democratic president anyway. I'm not here nor there. I just, I'm all about policy, and, I ain't gonna lie, man. I didn't got money when Trump was in office, bro. Whenever it seemed like a Republican is in office, it's gonna be more money fluctuating around. But that's just me. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't know how y'all feel. Put a comment in the, put a comment if you agree or disagree. Anyway, as far as that's concerned, that's pretty much all I got to say about that, man. I don't see nobody else, capable of standing up to old Trump. And although I don't necessarily, Trump as a person, I don't dislike. And as far as his policies, a lot of them are gonna work in my favor, pretty much. Now, as far as like his base, the man gonna pander, I'm pretty sure, to whoever gonna get him in the office, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I just don't necessarily care for anybody that don't care for me. So if you're a racist and you don't like me, I get it. But I'm not cool with that part. Other than that, though, I mean, I just, he got a new running mate, and he seemed like he might be, empathetic to the cause, being that he is a Khazarian, but, whatever. I don't know. I mean, it made sense for him to pick him, I guess, as far as like for a running mate, but they don't even have a front runner in the Democratic Party. I don't think Obama or anybody has like signed off on Kamala, because this happened and it's pretty fresh. But we'll see. I mean, maybe she'll get a running mate that can put her over the top and make people feel comfortable with her being at the driver's seat of America. But me personally, I'm not feeling it. I don't know if they feeling it. They just probably ain't found somebody that's adequate to beat Trump, because right now I don't think Kamala got what it takes to do it either. She ain't really even been around and doing nothing, and she don't seem like she got enough power to get old Biden out the driver's seat right now, which would probably be, he ain't fit to run for a new presidency, but I don't think he fit to finish out the term he in now, if you asking me. But I'm not, I'm not here to I'm not a political, expert or anything like that. I'm just saying that, just the common sense factor says that, he look weak. He make us as a country look weak. He seem and act senile. And I'm not finna let no OG that can't see well and drive and fall asleep at the wheel keep driving me around nowhere. Get out the driver's seat. It irritates me to see old school individuals out here driving around in real life. I can't, and you almost always know who they is, because they not doing just the speed limit. They doing like 5 miles under, and you gotta go to flow of traffic, old school. You want everything to slow down. I don't know if they high, but I can almost guarantee you every time it's somebody that's going way slower than they supposed to go, they are too old to be driving. And your grandkids or your children need to take their keys. And that's what's going on with Biden right now. Take the keys, man. So this man can sit. And why are you even out here? They got Lyft and Uber Eats and people to deliver your groceries now. Sit down. Okay? Pedo Joe, sit down. And he took their advice, because I guess they wasn't finna get no money. Ain't nobody finna keep giving them money and they know they finna lose it. They might as well throw their bread in the furnace and burn it, because it wasn't going nowhere. And George Clooney and a bunch of others was like, man, he need to drop out. I mean, you got people like Trump getting bread from Elon. I think Elon pledged to give Trump them like $42 million a month to make sure they ship keep going. And Biden wasn't finna get nothing like that from nobody. So it is what it is, man. In other news though, and this was kind of something that hurt me a little bit, but I mean, hey man, that's the real reason for the title. The Biden thing just kind of came across my desk recently, but this thing out there in the Bay Area with Tana God, who is like a up and coming rapper, R.I.P. to her. Condolences to the family. I don't know her, but I understand, that when you getting hurt and whooped on, you're not gonna keep taking that. She had a boyfriend apparently that was beating her motherfucking ass, and if you a nigga out there beating on your woman like that, bro, you need to cut that shit the fuck out. I understand what it's like being in a relationship, and women can do things and maybe even say things that make you want to do stuff to them, but if you can't deal with that, you need to leave her alone, bro, and stop fucking with her. It's a lot harder for some of you homosexual niggas out there, and I get that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, bro, you gotta kind of, you know, are you gonna be in jail behind some domestic or worse? Which is what was the case with her ex-dude. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, she may have taken it a little too far after the fact. You know what I mean? Because Burr was beating her ass, apparently. And it also threatening her family, telling her he was going to kill her family, and everybody else. And she was saying in an interview that he know where they live and all that. And I guess he had to go because she had popped him in self-defense. She was still going through litigation for the situation, but she had made songs about the shit and made an album cover that got the dude face burning like he a blunt, talking about ex wood pack on the album. Now, being a victim is one thing. Surviving, that's one thing. And hey, congratulations to the survivors out there who made it out of relationships where the domestic abuse was happening, right? But you done killed this man, and this man not only is, you know, got relatives that love him, etc., etc. Apparently he was in the street too. So you gotta know that if you gonna go that route, you know, maybe just lay low and keep your head down and stay cool, rap your raps. But she done made a song about this shit, talking about fuck my ex dead ass nigga, smoking his dumb ass dead ass, you know what I mean? Like all kind of shit. My condolences to dude family too, because I don't know either one. I'm not really trying to pick sides. I'm just trying to give y'all the game, because this is the game room. Ow. And it's time to kind of let y'all know how to play certain things, man. I know the game is, you know, a word that may get a bad name, but to be perfectly honest, game is just another word for knowledge, wisdom, understanding. And knowledge is cool, but wisdom is when to apply it properly. And in this instance, although, you know, you're supposed to stand up for yourself, there is a line that can be crossed. And some people play with that, you know, and they don't know when to quit. And this is what the episode is all about. Again, know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, know when to run. I mean, because, you know what I'm saying, if you're going to play like that, it's got to stay like that. What's going on, Mimo, man? What's happening? Look, we talking about a few things that transpired throughout the week on this show, man. Shout out to the Rant Gang. If you just came into awareness of this channel, shout out to you. Shout out to the Capital Letter Club for all of y'all who done been in the trenches with me, subscribe, took us some game, and raised up the level of your lives. I mean, because, you know, hey, and for all y'all who want to smoke, one of my sponsors is the Velvet Tiger. Check them out if you're out in the city that I live in, over there off of Reno and MacArthur. Yeah, just go in there, tell them Jamerson sent you, and they're going to at least give you some free pre-roll or something, you know what I'm saying? We working on it. But anyways, yeah, she done got an album cover. We're talking about Tan the Guy right now, y'all. She done got an album cover with Brad face on it, burning like a blunt, standing behind him, made hella songs, talking about fuck him, fuck his dead ass, da-da-da-da-da. And it's been probably about almost a year. So if you know anything about the streets, a lot of times they ain't gonna get right on you. They might let it, you know, simmer for a little bit just so shit cool down. And then I guess she done got comfortable thinking that niggas wasn't gonna do shit. Been doing her thing outside of town, doing shows, etc. But then it came back around and she in the town doing a promotion for some cosmetics or something at a store, dropped the low, and, you know, telling people to come through and some more. And they brought the smoke with him and laid her down. Some nigga in a hoodie laid her down. You know, and it was tragic because she ain't here no more. But a lot of that had to do with the fact that, you know, you the victim 1 minute and now you a villain, but you didn't go all the way through with the villainism. Because if you gonna be on that, Vest need to come with that. You need to have your strap on you all the time, going to the range so you know how to use your strap, or have some security around you all the time, because you can't be loose after that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't took somebody's life. And they say if you live by the gun, you die by the gun. You rapping about it like this how you live now. You gotta stay ready so you don't have to get what? Ready. And that's just what it is, man. For all of y'all that's got issues like that, you trying to rap, you got to be careful what you put out there, man, because that energy do come back. If you talking about how bad and how big you is and how raw you is and how this and that, it's going to be somebody that want to know and want to see that. So, shout out to individuals like T.I.'s son, the oldest, Damani or whatever, because it sound like his rap style ain't got nothing to do with a lot of that, even though, it probably something that he would have just kind of fell into, being that his dad was who he was or whatever. And, he probably felt the need to be like the younger brother who be talking about how he stand on business and all that shit. Bro, just chill out. If you a suburbanite, do that. You know what I'm saying? Rap about whatever you really doing, not about what you want motherfuckers to think about you, because you might just get what you asking for. At any rate, we got like a new segment alert. I think I'm gonna call it "Watch for the Hood," where we kind of let you understand, like let you know about what's going on as far as like some of these scam artists and shit like that. I think it'll be primarily for individuals who are wanting to jump into the business sector. But here's the first story now. We got a real estate investor out in Atlanta. So if you're in Atlanta, man, and even if you're not in Atlanta, because Brett, I think he reside there, but he doing things all over. He out there scamming individuals. A brother by the name of Deron Demick. Now, Deron Demick has allegedly scammed a few unsuspecting individuals out of some bands. And I mean, on the story I seen, Brett only, they talked about 3 people. One of them apparently was somebody that went to high school with him, so they trust him. You know what I'm saying? They thought he was going to be on the up and up. But I don't give a fuck how long you know an individual. From decades plus, you need to do your homework on the front end, because you can't hand a nigga 15, 20, 30 bands and hope that they going to do the right thing by you, man. But you just got to know things like the Better Business Bureau tools that you can use to kind of figure out who is who and what kind of business they really doing. I can't tell you how many times I'm finna buy something new or do something. I gotta look at the reviews. And I don't just look at the good reviews, because some people just put, they have their partner putting reviews in, or whatever. I look at the bad ones too. Before I got the sign behind you, I had to look at the reviews and see what they were saying about the sign and how they came. So, it was righteous, and I like the song. Hopefully y'all like the song. But at any rate, Deron is joining ranks with a few of these other illegitimate business doers, like the likes of Jamerson and Brother Polite, because they out here allegedly scamming on the black conscious community, thinking that that's cool, but man, come on now. Now you gotta understand, man. All money ain't good money, and you just can't trust nobody, man. It's scams all over. One of them I had to actually try to check out for myself was starting a business. You get letters in the mail, and in the letter was talking about how niggas need to get compliance posters to put up in the business situation, which, yeah, they do. But they are making it sound like you got to get it from them, and if you don't, that you going to get, he talks about the fines and how much, like 5 bands, but they talking about get it from us, and it's going to be, $150 to save yourself 5 G's. Who don't want to save 5 G's? You know what I mean? Y'all have to forgive me, man. My daughter's medicine timer went off while I was doing the show. It's been one of them days, man. But hey, we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep it lit, keep going, like the motto of my shoe. Anyway, we just gotta understand that, you know, they're going to try you. So you gotta be aware of that. $150, okay, that ain't nothing really. I'm all the way to the motherfucking post office about to, you know, got the envelope filled out, all that shit. Something told me, hey man, check and see if there's a scam for this. And I'm glad I did, because it was a real scam. I'm thinking that these people, because they send the letters, they on the up and up. In reality, you can get the posters for free offline. You can print them out and do all that. So that's the route motherfuckers went. But they didn't really. They praying on whoever is game goofy enough to go for it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of scams out here. And I mentioned this once before on my man's podcast. Shout out to Dude. I just did an appearance on Dude's podcast. What is it? The Principles. So check that out on YouTube. Episode dropped soon. But yeah, it's some individuals out there that's selling tickets to heaven. I mean, they selling like real estate in heaven. Now, you gotta get there first, man. You can't just you trying to sell real estate in heaven. So you got people out there buying that. You know, it's been about $1 million worth of business being done with these individuals selling plots of land in heaven. People thinking that they're going to be able to buy a spot next to God in heaven. And it's people going for it, man. I mean, I don't know if they just got disposable income like that. And I hear it's in Mexico. I mean, I forgot the name of the church, but they doing that, bro. It's not cool. I'm hoping you ain't the type of person to fall for that, man, because they got them out there for you. They say a fool is born every day. But, you know, in this segment, I mean, you know, this is going to be for the individuals, like I said, primarily people that's trying to start businesses. And we're going to start interviewing individuals who have businesses, and so that, you know, you can see what it is, you know, that's going on. And if you can see something, you can be it, right? So, you know, if you, whatever ethnic group you are, we're going to have somebody come on the show maybe once a month or so, if possible, to tell us their journey and explain how it is that they, you know, they did what they did, and what are some of the pitfalls, and how what motivated them to get started. Because, like I said, I think my audience deserved that. And shout out again to the Capital Letter Club, because that's what it's for y'all. Those of y'all who are trying to vibrate higher. I was watching Goldie's podcast or live not too long ago, and he was just saying that in there that you gotta watch who you listen to. You know, a lot of us don't necessarily have nobody around that's doing other stuff we're trying to do. That's why I'm bringing y'all the show. You know, we keeping it on the edutainment level. So it's entertaining, but it's really about the educational part, so that you can see somebody doing something that you might aspire to do. I don't care if it's roofing or, you know, barbecue spot, or, you know, some of the things that we see around like that. You know, it's just individuals that need to do stuff of all walks of life, and that could be you. You know what I'm saying? The Turkey Leg Hut, shout out to them. It started out as an idea first. I think they going through some turmoil financially, you know, but nonetheless, they have a dope product, and, you know, you could be the next individual to have something like that. And I would love if y'all got inspired by seeing somebody on my show. You know what I'm saying? So that's it for that right now. The next segment we got is called Celebrity Spotlight. And on today's segment of Celebrity Spotlight, we got a few things transpiring that just make me shake my head, man. I mean, again, I'm not here to gossip about what's going on out here. It's really just about trying to, you know, these teachable moments, and trying to convey that to people who don't have anybody ahead of them to kind of show them the way. Because a lot of these guys are products of single mothers, and as much as a woman can show you how to be an adult, she can't really show you how to be no man, bro. and a lot of these dudes is just moving off emotion. I don't know if that's the case necessarily with this, because we all probably know of who Jay Prince is, and I'm not trying to make fun of Brad. I would like to think that Brad was a little bit sharp, and it don't seem like that's what's going on altogether. I do kind of feel like there was some validity to what Cameron and Mace had to say. Now, if you don't know what's going on, Cameron and Mace got a sports show called It Is What It Is, where they talk sports, right? And they made fun of Shakur Stevenson, aka Pillow Hands, like a couple weeks back. Now, bruh became Twitter fingers and started talking shit about them, and it went up in views and all this shit. And apparently it's still going on because Shakur's big homie or his promoter is Jay Prince. And it looked like after that Jay Prince then came and added basic Cameron about how he is basically in charge of everything outside the ring for Shakur, almost like he just like condoning brother's behavior instead of him kind of letting little bro know, like, hey, they doing their job, bro. You can't. It's not wise to go that way with this, but that's not what happened. And Mason Cameron went in on Jay Prince. Now, I'm just here reporting the news. I'm not here to take sides again, but I can't say that I thought that they was wrong, because I didn't. If you 60 plus and you still in the streets trying to be a street dude, I'm inclined to believe you did fail. And I don't know if that's what Jay Prince is doing, but that's what it looked like. And, it wasn't. They was just saying, like, I think Mason saying he had some respect for bro, but he lost all respect for him. You gonna be in the streets, you gonna be A1 with that, and you can't really have no picks and choosies. And apparently, Whack 100 and amongst other people had kind of shitted on Jay Prince a time or two, and they just brought that up, like, Cam didn't want to repeat what Wax said, but I went back and looked at it, and it was deplorable. I mean, it was some shit that I guess they squashed it, but it's like, could you really forgive somebody for saying those things about your moms and all of that shit, like dig her up and shit like that? Like, man, it was, bro, Whack went in. But it was just a lot. And Mason then was like, look, bro, I can't let you go at us like we the bottom of the food chain. You didn't say nothing to Kendrick now. You know what I'm saying? But you trying to go at us. Because, Jay Prince be coming to Drake's rescue quite a bit. And they was just like, you ain't said nothing to Bray about that, so we'll make you think that you can holler at us. So it is what it is. They went through that. I just would have thought that, Jay Prince would have been like, hey, Shakur, chill out. But Cameron did say something that was, I thought was interesting. And I really feel like Shakur should take him up on that. But he like, look, he was tired of this. And it's really looking like they using them for promotion because they wasn't getting no motion, not more than what they get now. And he like, look, if you gonna do something, why don't we do some business and let us promote your next fight? You know what I'm saying? It'll get you some asses in them seats because Bray ain't really getting enough people to watch him. Or they coming to watch him, but they bored and they leaving early and shit. And he was like, we could, just let them know, hey, Pillow Hands fighting next week. And, maybe they can even commentate the fight, you know what I'm saying? But, that's just, hey, man, I don't think that's a bad idea. I know he's saying that Jay Prince probably got more things to do, but apparently Jay Prince Jr. jumped in it and said some wild shit that it would take an interpreter to understand what bro was really saying. I know what he was was like going for it, but it just did not come out as clear as concise as I would have liked for it to come out with him being, you know, who he is and where he stand with things. You know what I'm saying? It was just seemed like he was trying to speak in code too much, but it was like, look, if you gonna say what you gonna say, and if you gonna say something, why are you even saying anything? This anyway. I mean, you know, Wack was just talking about how, you know, although Jay Prince's brother is cut and Jay Prince is cut, that the kids is just kind of, there's some good kids and they didn't really need to be going the street route. But again, you know, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? It just, I guess all of that, I guess Wack had to say transpired when Takeoff got, you know, did like on Jay Prince didn't watch. So rest in peace to Takeoff. But yeah, it was a wild transaction. And I'm hoping that things don't go into the streets, because let's just hope somebody end up, you know, having, you know, the wherewithal to understand, like, hey, it's not that serious, man, and quit while they're ahead, right? Who knows who gonna do what? And on the joke side of things, though, we got the 5150 show debacle with Corey Holcomb, who I admire Corey. I didn't understand where he was coming from when he went in on old Marcus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a neutral. I ain't like taking no sides or nothing. It took some perspective for me to kind of understand where bro might be coming from. You know, of course, Corey get the benefit of the doubt, but I seen, you know, the episode transpiring, and I was kind of lost. I didn't know who was talking about. It took Dave, shout out to Dave, to put me on, to put me on to what was going on. He texted me like, yeah, you know, he talking about Marcus. I'm like, stop it. So I go back to the episode because I ain't seen half of it yet, and I looked in the comments, and they were saying that it was Marcus that he was talking about, and I started, then he said wet arms. I'm like, oh yeah, he talking about Marcus. So of course, after that, I went to Marcus's show to see what Marcus had to say, what was going on, and I actually found out that Marcus had made like a video. Now, shout out to Tariq. Tariq got a movie that is being re-released in the movie theaters. Y'all go check that out, man. The Microphone Check movie is in theaters right now, and y'all run it up. But he was on 5150 show promoting that, right? And shout out to Corey for that, because, you know, Tariq was saying ain't no black platforms, no big ones anyway, been promoting the movie, which is weird. He been having to go to white, you know, podcasts like Adam 22 and Vlad to get the promotion done, right? And they reaching out to him. At any rate, Corey on the show, he probably shouldn't have been on with both arms like in crutches or casts, because he didn't have some type of accident on a bike. I think it's an electrical bike or something. And, you know, he a little bit older now, so when he fell off, I'm pretty sure he had to kind of catch himself, and then he broke both his wrists. But Marcus was making fun of bruh. And, you know, they comedians, so it may have looked like Corey went a little far, although he ain't really saying much more than he always say about Marcus. Marcus kind of let it roll off his back and then trip too hard. But on the show, he going, you know, he taking calls, and I'm looking at the comments, and it was saying that Black Ron called in like 2 hours in. So I fuck with Black Ron. His comedy is hilarious. I met him once out here when he was doing comedy. He let me go up on stage and do my thing once. But, you know, he had some things to say, and he was just kind of going off Corey's lion hyena analogy, and, you know, was just talking about the bite pressure on the hyena is the strongest in the jungle, and, you know, that Corey, although, you know, he the big homie, he if he can't dish it, or if he can't take it, don't dish it, basically. And that, you know, if he don't know that it's some dudes that don't play about Marcus. So, you know, Marcus, you know, had that going on his show, and you know, it was just kind of crazy to see all this going on. And then Craig, I guess, had a response to that on his podcast, and you know, it was just like, you know, Craig still kind of, you know, not getting in it, and but his rant gave me some perspective on how Corey might have felt and why it was that he went in on bro, because, you know, I guess they friends, of course. And he maybe felt like, you know, why you didn't call and check on me and see how bad this was, because it was probably worse than it looked. You know what I'm saying? It could have been worse in his mind. But, you know, with Marcus just going in on him, he didn't like that, and, you know, whatever. But Craig was, you know, provided some clarity as far as the perspective that I wasn't really aware of, and it made me look at things different. So shout out to Craig for that. And hopefully they iron that out before it goes somewhere else, because it really don't seem like it's nothing. But a lot of times people be taking things further than they have to go because they be emotional about shit, and you know but who knows why? You know what people's motives are. So the whole motive, the gist of this whole thing is there is an importance to knowing when to quit while you are ahead, because communication is key, and things don't have to go nearly as far as certain people take them, bro. Just kind of, you know, pride come before a fall. And a lot of people don't necessarily understand that. Let's just hope that you, hearing this, can understand before it get too far, because it's a lot of dudes in jail right now, domestic, that went too far because they didn't know when to chill, or, you know, and then threw shit out the window and be wanting it to be different now. That, but I gotta go to work tomorrow. Man, the argument didn't have to go that far. Now y'all didn't put hands on each other, and it's people going to jail, and you know what I mean, the relationship is over, all because of, you know, some bullshit. But, you know, that don't have to be you. All right? Now, let's go into this segment I like to call Don't Be a Weirdo. Now, today's Don't Be a Weirdo. The weirdo of the week is the leader of the neo-Nazi extremist group called the Manic Murder Cult. Now, this guy's name is, now you got to forgive me, his name is about to get bushy because it's a lot of consonants in his motherfucking name. Like, bruh, from Czechoslovakia or something. But I'm going to do my best to try to say it. His name is Michael Chiskaviskavili. And I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, but Michael has been charged with plotting to have a person dressed as Santa Claus hand out poison candy to children in New York City, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. Now, what the fuck? This man is plotting on handing out candy to Khazarians up there, and he gonna have Santa Claus do it in the middle of the motherfucking summertime, which I don't think that's smart, but thank God he's so dumb, because that shit didn't work. The federal prosecutor said the 21-year-old man from the Republic of Georgia has been indicted on 4 charges, including soliciting hate crimes and the act of mass violence. Now, what the fuck is going on with, I mean, the Republic of Georgia? Is that Georgia? But it's like, why is all this racism coming from Georgia? I mean, I think the last thing I addressed that was about race was about some dude trying to do something out in Georgia with a rap concert, and they got thwarted. But yeah, whatever. Georgia is kind of weird like that too, by the way. It's just crazy how people that live there don't really understand, like, some of the stuff. The subliminal stuff is just, it's ridiculous. Like Plantation Way is the name of some of the streets. Stone Mountain, I think they got like the Mount Rushmore of races. And it's just like on and on, but they just kind of go about their day like it ain't no real big deal. Just being from another place and going there, it's like, it's really a turnoff. But I mean, the weather is nice and the women is thick, but it's just ridiculous, man. Anyway, Brad is known by various names, including Commander Butcher. And the Department of Justice said the group is an international extremist group that adhere to the neo-Nazi accelerationist ideology and promotes the violence and violent acts against racial minorities. The Khazarian community and other groups, it seems, are deemed undesirables, which I'm pretty sure it include us. So yeah, Brad is a weirdo, and he's the head of another extremist group I had no idea existed. But yeah, y'all be on the lookout for the maniac murder cult, and Michael C is the weirdo of the week. So thank goodness the Department of Justice kind of put a stop to that, because who knows, man, a lot of these kids don't understand that they shouldn't be taking candy from strangers. You know what I mean? That's why you gotta watch out, man, for that free shit, man. I know where to get some candy if I want it. I can go buy my own. I don't. If I'm a kid, I'm good, but and I'm gonna teach mine that. But a lot of y'all just, it was kind of crazy how. I mean, and in Georgia, like I did some. It was like I was an ice cream truck driver for a minute, and it would be kids that would just come up to the truck with no bread, like trying to get something for nothing. And if it was a pedophile in there or whatever, he could have did whatever to them, drugged them or whatever. But I mean, thank God I'm not the type of person to do that. I kept some little freezy pops to give to the kids that didn't have money. But I would hope that the parents teach the kids, like, if don't go up to no place of business if you ain't got no bread. Don't take nothing from strangers. But it is what it is, man. Some of this stuff to me seems like it's common knowledge, but a lot of people don't got it. They don't got it all. These little kids was some thugs too. Some of them was just like lined up in front of my truck, like they wasn't gonna let me leave if I didn't give them something for free. I was crazy, bro. But that's when I was like, okay, before I have to do something that's one of these people's parents, man, let me just keep something for these broke individuals, because that shit was ridiculous, man. It was just too much. And last but not least, we're going to have this segment I like to call Who Got Active. And on today's segment of Who Got Active, it's a Citrus Heights father by the name of Bobby Tucker. That's our activated individual of the week. Now, Bobby sent the man who allegedly broke into his home and attacked his children to the ICU Thursday evening. Shout out to him, man, because that's what you're supposed to do. Now, I'm glad that the person that broke into his house didn't have no gun, and he didn't really have to shoot nobody, because it don't sound like he had one either. But Brad probably know now he should have just stayed out that man's house. Know when to fold him. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Bobby was saying that the man attacked my 14-year-old son from the back. He jumped on him, choking him out to the ground, and then he moved on to my 11-year-old, said Bobby. And that's crazy. So you broke into a house with people. Why not just turn around and leave? Unless your goal was to be in there trying to do something to these kids. And listen, I heard another story about a dude who got his house broke in a couple times up in the D, and he ended up basically holding them against their will, and made them clean up his house for like 2 weeks. And he didn't order some shot collars on Amazon, and they didn't, that shit don't get there till the next day. Like, what the fuck was you doing watching these niggas all night while you waiting on this equipment to come so you can handcuff them and shit? Like, I don't got it today, but when this motherfucker come tomorrow, y'all is fucked. And it's like, bro, you can't do that kind of shit, bro. That's definitely kidnapping. Kidnapping carries a $25 to life charge. And, I mean, if you take a person 10 feet outside of what they trying to go, that's kidnapping. So, stop playing, bro. You need to pick you up a penal code book and find out what you can and cannot do. But that's probably going to be too much to ask for a lot of you, unless you're in prison already, and you fighting a case. But at any rate, it's always an old school black person that know, that you tell you the mandatory minimum for every crime you're about to pull. If you letting them know that you about to do something, man, I don't know about that. Yesterday, they carry a 10 to 35 year sentence. Like how you know, Jasper? Like, man, I just know. Don't worry about it. But anyway, man, yeah, just stay out of people's shit. Stay out of people's nerves. Chill. Breathe. Woosah. Do whatever you got to do because, I mean, I can guarantee you a lot of this stuff can be prevented if you really understand that when you come against a lot of these things, it's a spiritual war, man. You're not just dealing with the things that's of the physical. And if you're coming against something, 29 was happening, it's because you got a promotion on the way, bro. I mean, to be honest, man, if you got something going on, and it might be an overwhelming situation for you, it's a test, and you can't pass it. You just got to understand that you can't let your emotions get the best of you for the men and for the women also. I mean, I know y'all are emotional, but that don't mean you got to let your emotions overwhelm you and do too much and stab somebody and shoot somebody. If you just get away, that's fine. You know, hey, I done said enough for today, man. Hopefully that was enough to get y'all through to next week. My name is Jamerson Ballard. This is R&R, and I will see y'all next time. Have a pleasant evening.